I was sleeping in this parking lot. I don't remember where it was exactly, but I was sleeping, I think for a good, gosh, I don't know, 10 minutes, if that. And all of a sudden, I hear one of the favorite things I'm sure anyone sleeping in a vehicle wants to hear. And so I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm cool about it. So I get up and I answer the door, and it's a cop. And this cop is really cool. He's a cool guy. He's like, hey man, I don't mind if you sleep in your vehicle, but you can't sleep here. It was whatever parking lot. I don't even remember exactly where it was, but it wasn't a parking lot such as this. He said, I don't care if you sleep in your vehicle, but you can't sleep here. There's a Home Depot down the road. You can park there. No one will bother you. And I did. I parked there, and true to his word, nobody bothered me. There are a few places that you can sleep at that, if you're in a bind, won't bother you. Now, I don't recommend sleeping in Home Depot parking lots as your first choice. I do it for two reasons. One, convenience. There's a Walmart. The closest Walmart to me here is rather far. It's not somewhere I want to be traveling back and forth because there's a specific place I need to be here right now, and I can't be traveling long distances back and forth just to go and sleep in a Walmart parking lot. That being said, Walmart parking lots are plentiful. 9 out of 10 times, 9.7 out of 10 times, there will be a Walmart somewhere within rock throwing distance. This is one of those rare, weird situations where it's not. You can hear the engine running because it's rather cold out and I got the heat on. I don't have a stove because I'm afraid of burning the house down. The other reason why I'm sleeping in this Home Depot parking lot, aside from the good faith, this isn't the Home Depot that the cop said. That was another time, another place. I was trusting, I've done this, I hope I don't jinx myself tonight, but I was doing this enough where when I first started doing in this Home Depot parking lot, when I first started sleeping in this Home Depot parking lot again, I was like, kind of sleeping with one eye open because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get the, which luckily, knock on wood, didn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen tonight now that I said that. Home Depot would be your second bet. Your second best bet. Walmart, one. But you have to be smart about it. If you see some Walmarts and some places have security that drives around the parking lot, and that security can be a hit or a miss. Sometimes it is there just to drive around. Other times the rent-a-cop or whatever wants to be a hard ass and they'll stick it to you. Excuse me. I had that happen in a Walmart not too recent. Well, a few months ago now, maybe like 4 months ago now. And he said, well, you can just go in the far back corner, you know, with like the users and shit. And like, you know, so I kind of stayed away from the other cars back there, but, you know, I tried, you know, stick myself back there as best as I could, while gradually inching myself towards civilization. But that's not too common. That doesn't happen too often. Walmart, I guess, like in the 80s and stuff, was notorious for, yeah, overnight parking, whatever you want. They got signs everywhere. You're gonna, look, I'm gonna share with you a life hack. I'm gonna share with you a life secret that a lot of people don't know. I talked to a good buddy of mine. He was like 65 years old, maybe 56 years old. I should cut him some slack. And he was like, well, David, you can't sleep here. And I said, why not? He said, because there's signs everywhere that say no overnight parking. These signs are a load of horse shit. These signs are only there to deter you. These signs are about as authoritative as the bedroom metallic tin signs that you buy at Spencer's and you hammer into your door that say, keep out aliens only or some crap. They're just there to scare you. It's just there to deter you. No one is sitting in a parking lot most of the time with binoculars going, that car shouldn't be there. One of the reasons why I am able to get away with sleeping in a Home Depot parking lot is because it's a van. A rather fugly looking van, but it's a van. And as you can see, I try to conceal myself next to these other work vehicles. Now, I know that I'm not fooling anyone sometimes, but for the most part, it gets the job done. And if I may say, in Massachusetts, the Massachusetts cops are rather lenient. I like the cops up in Massachusetts. They're not like Uniontown cops. Anyways, that's that. There was one other thing I wanted to tell you, another little trick, you know, which is, and this is my strong personal opinion. Actually, this comes from experience. You do not want to be a red canary sitting in a parking lot. What do I mean by that? You do not want to draw attention to your vehicle. You want your vehicle to look like a regular car or van or truck sitting in the parking lot. How do you do that? How do you not draw attention to yourself? Well, how did I draw attention to that cop banging on my door? I have, hey monkey, this is a sun visor. It's a rather nice sun visor, actually. I bought this for whenever I was going down in Florida. I'll tuck that back in later. And I stupidly put it up in the windshield before I went to bed. This is a big no-no. This is a big no-no. It screams, I'm in here, there's someone sleeping in this vehicle. Some people will say, well, I want the privacy and stuff. You see these windows back here? Those are the vehicles, you know, those are the back windows for the van. I wouldn't say MacGyvered, but I losed a hanger in the back. I can show you later, and it draws the curtains in. So there are 2 curtains back there. I can get away with putting curtains in the back and not putting a sun visor in the front because the back just looks like it's dark. Most of the time when it's dark, even whenever it's light out, you can't see through the back windows. So there being curtains drawn, you can't even tell that there's curtains drawn. And those curtains are a big deal. If you have a van, curtains are a big deal. But it's a luxury. If you're sleeping in a vehicle, I do not recommend, as a matter of fact, I say against putting up any kind of sun visors or blackouts or whatever it is, because that is drawing major attention to you. A few years ago, it's crazy, it was a few years ago now, but I was sleeping in a car down in Florida. It's like, is this like a theme here? That is actually a totally different story. And I would rather sleep in a car down in Florida than sleep in a luxury hotel in Pennsylvania. But I never put up anything like that for the vehicle. As a matter of fact, I mean, I'm kind of ballsy. I would sleep with the windows down, because if you fucked with the car, you're fucking with me. But anyways, don't put up anything like a sun visor or something at night, like, oh, I just, I'm trying to block out the light. Like, don't do it. Unless you want someone pounding on your door, don't do it. Walmart parking lots are your best bet. If you're in a bind, I usually sleep in Walmart parking lots. Sometimes I feel like I'm kind of stupid with these things. Like, David, why don't you sleep in a campground or something? Like, I don't know about that. That sounds kind of weird to me. I prefer to be next to civilization, where I can wake up and go to the gym or go to Walmart, or maybe these are luxuries that I need to like cut away. But I've heard some weird things about sleeping in campgrounds, and one, and correct me if I'm wrong, they don't want you sleeping overnight in a vehicle in a campground. I really don't know, unless you're in the proper vehicle or you're paying a fee. That's the other thing. There's campgrounds and stuff, like these campground communities or whatever, but you're basically paying a hotel rate just to park your car in next to other people. And that's kind of weird to me. I don't really buy into that. But if you're pressed, Home Depot, but I kind of think that you need the right kind of vehicle to be in a Home Depot parking lot. You have to have something that sort of camouflages you. Like, oh, what is it? But I want you to ask yourself this question. And I sort of asked myself this question in like a weird way. But the next time you're in a parking lot, I want you to look around yourself. I want you to look around and look at the cars and ask yourself, do I give a crap that any of these cars are here? Do you give a crap that any of these cars are here? Because we draw attention to ourselves. If you're panicking and you're freaking out, and you're like, oh no, I hope that nobody sees me. Guess what? People are going to see you. You draw your own attention to yourself. One of the things I do, and this is probably a whole other video, but one of the things I do is I meditate. I meditate a lot. And what meditation does is it takes away this paranoia that you have, that like, oh my gosh, like, it's so embarrassing. Like, I think people are watching me. Like, nobody cares, And if in the off chance that someone does pound on your door or pound on your window, just be mindful about it. If it's a cop, okay. If it's security, okay. Don't freak out. I've had people knock on my door, not too often, but a few times where they said, hey, you've got to go. You can't be in this parking lot. And one time in particular, not to be an old man and go on a rant, but one time in particular, it really upset me. You know, it really upset me that I was being told to leave, because it was a completely empty parking lot. Nobody ever used it, but because they were being, you know, super rent-a-cop, they were like, you gotta get out of here. So I left, and I actually found a better parking lot. The lights actually went out at night. That's another thing. With this I think it's with this Home Depot parking lot. A lot of these parking lots around here, the lights will go out. That's a luxury. That doesn't usually happen. But when this cop or these mall cops, basically, they told me to leave, they actually did me a big favor, because the lot that I was in, the lights didn't go out, and the new lot that I went in was closer to the gym, and the lights actually did go out at night. So, and it was closer to convenience stores. So it was nighttime. I figured, hey, somebody mentioned, you know, make a couple more videos. There's some things about night parking, or where to park your vehicle. Look, just to kind of wrap this thing up real quick, it's never an easy thing sleeping in your vehicle. I'm not encouraging people to be slums or bums or, you know, just live on the outskirts of humanity and civilization. I'm simply saying sometimes we go through rough patches in our life, and if you have to sleep in your car, here are some sensible ways to go about it. Walmart is usually your friend. Just find a place where there might be a sort of outskirt part of the parking lot where you're not too far off, but you're also within, you know, you got your own little space. Be smart about it. And you learn this stuff trial by error. So, I mean, don't like park your vehicle right next to the entrance. That's not gonna work. Just use your common sense. Be smart about it. I think that's it. If there's anything else, if there's anything in particular, I mean, this channel isn't geared only towards van life or like being in a van. But if there's anything in particular that you have a question about, or you want me to talk about, or you want me to show, just let me know in the comments and I'll get back with you about it. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna meditate, and I drank caffeine today, which was stupid, which means, well, anyways. I think that's it. So to recap, 1, Walmart is your friend most of the time. 2, if you see security driving around, be mindful about it. 3, Home Depot, if you can hack it. This is a work vehicle, so it sort of blends in, except I have a PA plate, and this is Massachusetts. I don't think I'm really fooling anyone. 3, or was that 4? The next one. Don't put up sun visors or blackouts in your vehicle, unless you can get away with something like, this is a van, it has doors in the back, I pull curtains. Because otherwise, sun visors and things draw unnecessary attention. This video is really long. It's going to take a really long time to transfer, and I am not going to like myself in editing. So that's it. Just be smart about it. Be smart about it, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao. Bye-bye.